So they're going to help prevent a fall. They're going to keep feet warm. Our feet get colder as we get older due to circulation decreasing as we age. So this would be good for any senior, whether they're living at home, if they're in a senior community. That's just a great gift. Number 4, motion sensor night lights. Welcome to Aging in Style with Lori Williams, the podcast all about finding the silver lining no matter what life throws your way. I'm Lori Williams, an award-winning senior living expert, author, educator, and caregiver to my husband, Mark. Join me as I share insights, tips, and personal stories to help you navigate the world of senior housing, discover ways to pay for care, advocate for your loved ones, and most importantly, learn how to thrive, not just survive, as you age. Hi, welcome to Aging in Style. I'm Lori Williams. I am your host. And we are talking about Christmas gift giving. And oh my gosh, y'all, I love Christmas. It's the happiest time of year, right? But sometimes it can be challenging, right? To figure out what to buy people, especially our older family members, those who may be in assisted living where space is a bit limited, or those who have dementia. So you are in luck because today I have a whole list of items we're going to talk about, and we even have some great tech items. I put my son onto this task because he is a wizard with anything techie, so he came up with some really cool items that I had never even seen before, and even some items that weren't tech that I was like, dude, that's great. Hadn't even thought about that. So this was a team effort to pull this together. But before we get started with that list, I want to share something with you because sometimes, it's not the price of the gift, or what matters is how it makes you feel. Anyhow, I'm just going to tell the story because I don't know how to set it up. So basically, I recently shared a Facebook post about my book called Surrounded by Love. And it's all about my story if you don't normally listen to the podcast, but it's about my family story. Christmas Day 2022 was completely earth-shattering, life-changing for my family when my husband, at the age of 62, had 4 massive strokes. And so when I was sitting in ICU, I was just honestly thinking about other people and other people going through this and what I wish I knew in this moment. And you just feel so alone and it's so scary. So I posted something about it, and a woman, I'm just going to give her name. Her name is Heather Melendez. She commented and she said, "I am so thankful someone was so thoughtful and handed me this book in the hospital during our journey. It has been so helpful to have somewhere to turn to when trying to navigate so much at such an overwhelming time." And honestly, I read that and I just sat there because that right there, that is exactly why I wrote the book. And it just like in that moment when I read her comment, it just like took me back in time to 1989. I was 25 years old and my dad died suddenly of a heart attack. It was absolutely awful. And at 25, and it was 3 months before my wedding, I was just like, I don't even know how to comprehend or deal with this. And someone, I don't know who, gave my mom a book. And it was this small book. It wasn't, it was maybe, I don't know, probably like 80 pages. It was a book on grief. And they said, read this book and pass it on to someone else. This book is a book that just travels. It keeps going to the person who needs it, and it will find the person who needs it. I don't remember the title, but I remember how comforted I felt reading it because it made me feel like I wasn't alone and that other people had gone through this and had this awful, crushing feeling of grief, of losing someone so vital to your family. And that's exactly what I wanted in my book, Surrounded by Love. So to have this comment come back to me full circle, I was just so, wow. I mean, it made me feel so good. And it, again, just reminded me of something so important that sometimes the very best gift you can give someone is comfort and hope. And that's really just like the heart behind today's episode and behind all the items that we have picked out. It's just really comfort and hope. So we're going to talk about how to choose gifts for the older adults in our life that we love. And these are going to be gifts that can bring comfort, connection, dignity, joy, and independence. So let's talk first about why gifting seniors takes some thought. Buying for our older family members can feel tricky because many may live alone. They may be, as I said earlier, in independent living or assisted living, and they just don't have a lot of space. They've already downsized out of their homes, and probably the last thing they want is some, tchotchke that they don't know what they're going to do with it, right? They just don't have as much space. They may have dementia, which kind of changes things and what we're going to gift them with. And they may also say, oh, honey, I don't need anything. I know we all hear that one a lot, right? So the very best gifts are going to be those that are easy to use, space-friendly for smaller living spaces, comforting, supportive, safe, and as I said earlier, dignified. We're absolutely not buying clutter. We're buying something that is going to support them. And we broke it down, my son and I, just by pricing because, not everyone can spend $100 or whatever on a gift. And there are some gifts that cost absolutely nothing. And we will get to those too. But to start, here's our first section, 25 and under. So number one, non-slip cozy socks. So those soft, warm socks with those rubber grips on the bottom so that you don't slip and fall. And why does it matter? Because seniors are at a higher risk for fall. So those grippy socks can help prevent slipping on tile or hardwood. And these are great for anyone. I have grippy socks, fuzzy grippy socks, and they make me happy because I have hardwood floors and I don't want to slip and fall. But they're great for anyone, but especially in assisted living where maybe floor could be slick. And of course, just anyone that we don't want to fall. 2, large print, word search, or crossword puzzles. Activity books are great. They have bold, oversized print. They're great for keeping the brain engaged without frustration. They're great for seniors with some mild memory decline or even like low vision where it's harder to see. So get the great big ones, and you can get them on Amazon. They're everywhere. Number 3, oversized TV remote. So just a simple remote with big buttons and fewer controls. I tell y'all, I need that. Why, please tell me, is the Fire Stick remote so tiny? I lose that thing in my bed probably every night. It needs to be big. And that's just my rant, okay? And maybe it's just me, but I'm 61, so I'm just saying. But having the big remote, big buttons, a simple remote with big buttons, it's going to reduce confusion, especially if people have poor eyesight or they have some cognitive changes. They're great for seniors who struggle with technology or those little tiny buttons. Number 4, lavender roll-on oil. It's like a soothing scent. You can apply it to your wrist or your neck. It's good for reducing anxiety and promoting relaxation, especially good for people with dementia. It's good for anyone who gets overwhelmed or feels restless. It's good to put on at night. I actually use it myself. Do be aware that there are some people who are allergic to lavender, though, but it's wonderful. It's a very soothing essential oil. Number 5, a jar and grip opener. And we're going to talk about these because there are some in higher price points where you can get these, but this is the pretty simple one. It's just a simple handheld tool. It just gives you kind of like that leverage to open jars. It's so important for people who have arthritis or maybe weak grip strength, which makes it really hard to take jar lids off. And that restores independence because if you're trying to make spaghetti and you cannot open your spaghetti bottle, or jar, it's frustrating, right? And so this is great for seniors who live alone. I'm actually going to get one for myself because sometimes I have a really hard time opening jars. Okay, number 6, a password booklet. And my son found this one and I'm like, okay, this is genius. This is not technology. It's a small notebook for storing login information, no tech required. It's important for seniors because tech overload can really create anxiety, and this keeps all their passwords in one safe place. And it's great for seniors or anyone who forgets logins or they don't want apps, because there are apps on your phone that can, I think, passkey or something like that, but something like that where you can store all your passwords. There are apps that you can do that with, but sometimes it's just really a lot harder for our older adults. Number 7, a simple large piece puzzle. You can also get them dementia friendly. You could get any puzzle. They're great for any senior. Many of our seniors just love doing puzzles, but the simple large piece ones, those are usually just like 12 to 40 large pieces, and they're very calming, confidence boosting. They're not as overwhelming as 500 piece puzzles. They're good for people with early to mid-stage dementia. They would probably be good for me. A 12-piece puzzle is probably what I'd be able to do. I am not a puzzle person, and I think it has something to do with math. And math was not added into my brain for some reason. So hopefully you got the math gene. The funny thing is my dad's degree was in math, and he was a chemical engineer, but clearly skipped a generation. Number 8. Fidget or sensory sleeves. And this, again, is for people with dementia or Parkinson's. It's like a soft sleeve with textures and buttons, and it just helps keep the hands busy, and it helps to reduce restlessness and anxiety. So great item. All right, let's look at $50 and under. Okay, how about a weighted lap blanket? So a small weighted throw, not like a big blanket, just a little throw that sits across the lap. The pressure from the weighted lap blanket, I'm sure you've seen there's been studies for a while that it's good for helping people have trouble sleeping. It helps kids with autism. What it does is the pressure helps to calm the nervous system. It can reduce agitation and just improve focus. So it's good for people with dementia or anxiety or restlessness. Also, okay, that was number 1 in our 50 and under. Number 2 is a digital day or date clock. So a clock that is very clearly displays the day, the date, and the time in large print. It helps to reduce confusion about time, which is a common early on dementia symptom. So it's best for people with memory challenges or people trying to stay on medication schedules. I mean, I think I would kind of like that, actually, just right here in my office. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, these are some gifts y'all can get me. I'm just kidding. Number 3, memory foam slippers with the tread on the bottom. So I know my grandmother always had these. We always bought these slippers for her. So these are supportive slippers with anti-slip soles. They're going to help prevent falls because, again, falling is what we don't want our seniors to do, but the chance of falling goes way up once we hit 65 or over. So they're going to help prevent a fall. They're going to keep feet warm. Again, our feet get colder as we get older due to circulation decreasing as we age. So this would be good for any senior. So whether they're living at home, if they're in a senior community, that's just a great gift. Number 4, motion sensor night lights. And these are lights that turn on automatically when someone walks by, and these are great for preventing nighttime falls. I just did a podcast on falls and got the sweetest email from a gentleman who told me he didn't know about them, and he was so excited. He went on Amazon and he ordered some, and he said he has to get up to go to the bathroom like 4 times during the night, and he is so happy that he has these activated motion sensor night lights now to show him the way. He doesn't have to fumble through the dark, and thankfully he's not going to fall because he has lights. Yay. And that's the whole point of this. We want to prevent nighttime falls, which is a big, big risk for our seniors. And they're great to put in hallways and bathrooms. Number 5, okay, a small Bluetooth speaker. So like a compact speaker to listen to music or audiobooks. I was trying to explain to my mom last time I visited how because she has trouble with her vision, because she mentioned books for the blind. And I'm like, oh, no, just could do audiobooks. You can go on Audible. And I think she's going to need a little, next time I'm in town visiting her, I'm going to help her set this up because I think this would be great for her just on Audible. maybe easier, like if you have an iPad or something, but to be able to play it and then have it go through the Bluetooth speaker. So that, like I said, it could be music or audible. Music can just help improve mood and memory, and it can also reduce agitation if someone has dementia. And, doesn't like listening to their favorite decade of music. Mine would be programmed with some good 80s music and 70s. I don't know. I kind of like it all. So a little country, a little this, a little that. That's how my Spotify is, which, by the way, that could be a good gift too. I'm just thinking out of the box here. I did a subscription to Spotify and I love it because you can set up like, okay, I want to listen to like Jelly Roll and everything that has to do with Jelly Roll, or I want to listen to Journey and anything kind of like that from the 80s. So that could be kind of a cool gift too. So just thinking outside the box. Number 6. Here is, I promised you another kind of help with jar opener in a higher price range. So this is the electric jar opener. And so this device, you just press a button and it automatically opens the jar. So this is huge for an independence booster for people who have arthritis or neuropathy, which is numbness in their hands. Really good for our seniors who have limited hand strength. All right, if we want to go up a little bit, pay a little more. These are items that fall in the $100 and under. So number 1, a heated throw blanket. So it's a warm electric blanket designed for safe use. Great for seniors who feel cold due to circulation changes. Great for people in assisted living or those with joint pain. If they do, I just do want to caution on this because my husband on one side has very little feeling. So I'm very careful when I use anything heated with him. Sometimes I use a heating pad because he has a lot of pain that is in his shoulder. And I just worry that he's not going to feel it and burn his skin. So I make sure I'm checking him all the time and I don't leave it on for very long and I don't turn it up very high. He sometimes does, and I have to keep an eye on that. Number 2, amplified large button phone. So a landline, a lot of our seniors like their landline still, or a cordless phone with extra loud volume. Hello, we're not wearing our hearing aids, and and big buttons so they can see. This device is going to help with hearing or support people who have hearing loss, and also reduce missed dials because they can see the buttons better. Great for seniors who are living alone. Number 3, a digital photo frame. I love these so much, guys. I see these all the time when I visit seniors in assisted living. So I'm sure you've seen them. It's a frame. They display rotating family photos. It's great for anyone, but people with dementia, it's great for, supports memory, good for loneliness, can spark conversation like, oh, those are your grandkids. Good for small spaces where you can't have like if you're in assisted living and you don't have room to have all your pictures of your entire family. And they can be linked like with your phone, and you can like send pictures and they'll automatically populate in the frame. So it's pretty cool. Number 4, pill dispenser. And there's some very cool pill dispensers out there. They're medication organizers. Some have alarms. They're great because a lot of times some of our seniors will miss medications, which is a huge safety concern. So like if you're needing blood pressure medication and you're forgetting to take it, this can help reduce that error from happening. There are so many different ones out there, and there's some very expensive ones. So you just need to just take a look because there's all kinds. I know Chris, my son, sent me one by Hero, which looks amazing, and I'll put a link for it, but it was pricey. Okay, number 5 in our 100 or less, remote key finder, no app needed. So this is kind of cool. Another one that my techie son found, and it's not techie, which is funny. It's a small fob that beeps when a button is pressed. So no smartphone is required to use it, which is cool. And that reduces stress of searching for your keys. And it's great for people with memory loss or low vision. And number 6, again, bonus to Chris. This was a pretty cool one he found. It's a hands-free illuminated magnifier. And it's a full page magnifier with LED lighting. And it helps with reading, like reading bills or recipes. It just, so you don't have eye strain. It's great for people who have low vision, macular degeneration, arthritis, because you don't have to hold it. It's like it's hands-free, kind of like a little stand it's on. We will put links to all of these because these are some pretty cool items. All right, now if we jump up into our premium gifts, we can get all kinds of crazy here. This is like 150 and up. So number one, a Roomba robot vacuum. I would kind of like one of these myself, but these are great because they reduce bending, lifting, and can decrease fall risk and give you some independence. So I think these are great if you're staying at home, and Roomba might be a great gift for your loved one. The Amazon Echo Show, which is a screen plus Alexa, so you can do video calls. It does reminders, music, weather. It's all like hands-free. A simplified tablet, like a little easier than an iPad. So they have larger buttons. There's easier to do video calls, and you can put memory games on them. Okay, let's get into a couple other things. So we have talked about some gifts that would be good for people with dementia, but there's one that I think is really interesting. We have actually done a podcast on this, and we'll put a link to it, but it's called the Grandbaby Project, Doll Therapy. And this is such a sweet gift. I have their website. We'll be putting that in the show notes, but it's a nonprofit that provides lifelike comfort dolls to individuals with dementia. It's not a toy, it's therapy. And all the research shows that doll therapy can help reduce agitation, calm anxiety, create a sense of purpose, reduce wandering, soothe restless hands, and spark joy and nurturing instincts. So many people living with dementia spent decades caring for their own children, their grandchildren, and they have these emotional memories that remain. So the sweet lady who, like I said, we'll rerun that episode, Tanya Moon is her name. She did so much research on the babies, finding the right baby, one that felt like the weight of a true newborn, and they can wear newborn diapers and they wear baby clothes. You can change all the clothes. It's amazing. And I've had the honor of helping with a baby shower where we went to a memory care and actually presented babies to seniors. Just, oh my gosh, I still get chills thinking about it. It was incredible. This gift is great for someone who is mid to late stage dementia. Another great thing to do, these cost nothing. Well, I mean, there is some cost to them, but they're experience gifts. And I love experience gifts. They don't take up any space, but they're going to fill your heart with love. Mother-daughter manicures. So how about treating your mom to a manicure or a pedicure, an outing to a tea room? And I know in my area, there's a couple of tea rooms, and I just think that's a really fun thing to do. Driving tour of Christmas lights. Just, let's get in the car and go drive around in the neighborhood or several neighborhoods. In every area, there's always that neighborhood that just goes crazy and everyone wants to go see it. So that's a fun thing to do. Schedule a monthly lunch date with your grandmother or your grandfather. Puzzle and cocoa afternoon. Worship service and brunch afterwards. Maybe you don't get an opportunity. Maybe you don't live close to your mom, but you're going to come into town and go. That's something that's really important to her, going to church, go to a worship service, and then take her to brunch later or afterwards. Meal delivery. There's lots of good meal delivery services. This could be great for someone who's in a senior apartment or still living at home. A family photo session. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to document all the generations together? That can be a really beautiful thing. And I love this one, a Tell Me Your Story recording day, where you record them. Just ask them questions about growing up. Just record that. Have that for the future, for your grandkids, for your great-grandkids. I think that's a really amazing story. Because, sometimes truly the best gift isn't one that you can wrap up. It's the gift of time. And kind of to sort of like go back to talking about books make wonderful gifts too. And not to be like giving a shameless plug, but hey, here's a shameless plug for my book, Surrounded by Love. I think it's a great gift for caregivers, for spouses, for adult children and families in crisis and anyone who's overwhelmed. And if you haven't read the book, it comes in paperback. It's, it's also in hardcover, but just get the paperback. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Get the paperback, read it, pass it on when you know someone who is in need. I mean, that's what I want for that book. I wanted to keep going and comforting someone else. And, if you read it, it helps you, pass it on to someone else, because I want to keep helping others with it. A quick note on what not to buy, because I think that's important. So candles with an open flame, that's a big no. Complicated electronics, that's just going to frustrate the heck out of everybody. Gadgets with tiny buttons, no. I'm even at the point, don't give me something too tiny. Heavy perfumes, really small piece board games. Okay, this was kind of a funny one, but because I would never think about giving this gift without first clearing it with my mom or whoever I would be giving this to. But a pet, y'all, don't give a dog or cat to your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, unless you know for a fact that they want a pet, and especially a puppy. I mean, be very clear with them if they want a puppy. I have a puppy who's 6 months old now, and I kind of forgot what it's like having a puppy, and they're precious and just wonderful and so great to care for, but they are so much work. They are exhausting. So be 100% certain before giving a pet to one of your older loved ones. And to kind of just wrap it all up, I just really think at the end of the day, any gift that you give to an older loved one is just make sure it's something that kind of tells them that I see you, you matter, and you're not alone. And I feel like any of the gifts mentioned, especially the experiences, I think will all be very well received. So for the full list from today's episode, you'll be able to see it on my website. We'll have all the links to Amazon and just everything that we talked about. And so there you go. You have your shopping list. You can go shop and get everything done. We gave you ideas. You don't have to just rack your brain wondering what on earth am I going to give grandma this year? Now you know. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this episode helped you out. So please share with your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, whoever. And if you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe and you will never miss an episode. We have new episodes every Friday. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you next week.